Hello, Playdate. This is Don.
This is Nick.
And I'm Ryan.
This week we are covering Playdate news.
Recent indie releases.
And coming together like the garlic, ginger, and soy sauce of the Playdate universe.
Thank you for listening. Let's get started.
Let us get started, indeed, with no corrections. I think because I was gone last episode, there are no corrections to be had. So let's get straight into the hoobity boop news and notes for today, starting with us. We've got kind of an announcement here. We're going to be going dark for the summer of 2026. That's right. You heard it here first, and you heard it here right. We're going to be taking a little hiatus for the summer. Our schedules are all wackadoo. Everybody's doing this, that, and the other, and it's hard to get us all together and coordinate. At least it has been for the past few years that we've been doing the podcast. So that is one of the reasons we are taking a little break. We should be back here in September, but wanted to let you, dear listener, know about that. So, if you've got any questions, you can still shoot us a line at the Helloplaydatepodcast Gmail account. That is, Don, you want to say that real quick? I don't have that in front of me.
On
It
which count?
is Helloplaydatepodcast at gmail.com. That
Oh,
is,
Gmail.
that is what it is.
Thank
Or
you.
our Discord as well. We'll be there too. So
Yeah.
if you get lonely and miss us, you can find us in those places over the intervening 3 months of June, July, and August of 2026. Guys, do you want to say anything about this?
No, it's a lot of podcasts have seasons or take breaks, and I was like, oh yeah, that might be a good idea because I know there's vacations over the summer and stuff. So yeah,
And we've had no seasons. It's
no
just gone
seasons.
straight through.
Season one is coming to a close after
Right.
4 years.
A 4 year season. Right. My God. Next 4 year season starts in September. No. Okay. So yeah, good call. Good talk, everyone. See you in September. No, we're going to keep going here. Next news and note I wanted to mention is looks like we've got a shout out. Don or Nick, is this you who wanted to do some shouts? I should probably leave this to you.
Yeah, I noticed on YouTube, Mr. Caprione was saying first and I'm here on most of our YouTube videos. So I want to give a shout out to them. Always saying hi in the comments. And Bucky's Revenge is in there quite a bit too, as well as other folks. So just been neglecting the YouTube comments. So thank you for chatting over there.
Indeed. Shout to Caprione and Bucky's Revenge. Thanks for coming out and supporting and listening. Very, very cool of you both. And all listeners, thank you so much for listening. Um, Next up, we've got an ebook that's being released by Brett Chalupa. This is called Make Games for Playdate with Lua. And we've got a link to that in the show notes of today's episode. It's about $15, but it's on a sliding scale, so you can pay a little more or less based on your financial comfort level. He was nice enough to gift each of us with a free copy, and in my perusal of this, I thought this was a really killer book and outline. It's got a table of contents featuring, how to get up and started and how to make a number of different types of games like tennis or clocks or snake, soaring, Sokoban, dungeon crawlers, and it's even got like Lua cheat sheets, Playdate cheat sheets at the end, different types of style guides, and it's all very well outlined in a clickable table of contents on this PDF. I am not a coder, but I have made a number of books and I really fancy the organization of this, so I can speak to that. But even just the organization of this, starting very simple, uh, counting frames, moving text around, etc. I feel like, man, maybe this would at some point in my retirement be within my realm of expertise from the way that he's started so simply and then moves you into coding different types of games. I thought that was a really cool approach to it. Nick or Don, did you have a chance to look through this ebook by any chance?
Uh, oh, go ahead, Nick.
I looked through the outline. I haven't had a chance to look at the book itself yet, but I agree. It looked good, and I think that having that sort of layered approach to communicating concepts which are esoteric to a lot of people is a great way to do it. And there's a sample chapter that teaches you how to build a tennis game. So if you would like to see what that is like, it's available on the link that'll be in the show notes.
Yeah, I need more time to go through it, and maybe someday I'll have the guts to implement the tools there. Yeah, very cool. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes.
Indeed. Thank you, Brett Chalupa, and nice work on this. Let's see. We got some more news and notes coming up here. It was a little light on the news this week, but there were some interesting posts, like from a one Christina Ramos, who recently posted a devlog about the nascent stages of developing what they're billing as an Obra Dinn 1-bit 3D software renderer for a retro dungeon RPG. Now, if any of those words tickle your fancy, you might want to click on over to this link. The devlog I thought was quite interesting. You know, outlining their inspiration for making this game and early iterations of 3D rendering software, going back to like, you know, early mobile devices and how they're implementing that on the Playdate. Anyhow, interesting devlog if you fancy that sort of thing. And speaking of devlogs, that brings us to our next news and note from boopity boop boop boop, new Atlantic 41 Atlantic 41 game that we've been clamoring for months, and it's been over a year at this point of developing this very detail-oriented submarine game. It looks bonkers good, and they have come out with a new devlog for that, which includes things like photographic and 3D render references for the cockpit that they're making, sound mixing. Nick, I know you love sound mixing, and inspiration for dialogue and more. So if you want to check out some devlogs, we've got a couple of them that were released recently, at least as of last episode. Thoughts on devlogs, guys?
Love a devlog, and someday I'm really looking forward to playing like 41. Yeah, it's been a couple of years, I think now.
All right. Yeah,
Looking forward to this one.
I know it's been a bit. So every time there's a devlog, it's like, ooh, great, they're still making progress. Even though it's taken a little bit, that's okay. We are still looking forward to it. But next, I thought I'd also highlight this video titled 13 Playdate Games to check out from your cool Uncle Marissa. So they are highlighting a few games, some of which we've covered here. If you want a quick overview, she talks about Crankstone, Void Blazers, Outside Parties, Agents of Groove, Zorbius, Subdivision, Mystery Scrolls, Crankshift, Oblings, Gilly and the Isle of Sorrow, and Devils on the Moon Pinball. I know you'll recognize a few of those from our picks of the week, but there are several that were not. We've got a link to that in the show notes of today's episode if you would like to check out this 25-ish minute video or something like that, highlighting a number of these different video games for the Playdate. Also, I wanted to ask you guys a question. Hey, I seeming to recall that you two mentioned Crankboy, the Game Boy emulator for the Playdate last episode, but had Crankboy dropped on catalog when you two last chat?
Not at that time, but it is out now, and
Word up.
the dev provided me with a review code. Thank you very much.
Oh, well. Well, that's good for you.
I'll let you know my thoughts at a later date.
Please do. Excellent. So that is available on catalog now. I feel like we're sort of preempting the catalog portion a little bit, but wanted to do a follow-up on that. And that brings us to our Uncranked Corner. Couldn't have a news and notes section without the Uncranked Corner. And we're going to start off with the fact that the sweepstakes to win one of two variant covers of issue number 11 is still open. but only just. We are recording this on May 18th. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to drop. Maybe tomorrow, May 19th, 2026, and it ends on May 20th, 2026. We've got a link to the form in the show notes of today's episode if you would like to win a sweet, sweet variant cover of Uncranked issue number 11. All right. So get in the running for that. You've got a few hours, moments, minutes left from the time of this recording. And also, you can either reserve or, I suppose, join these projects like the 2027 Playdate calendar. You can reserve or join the 2026 Playdate Advent calendar and Project Coffee Table Book Volume 2. There is a form for you to either reserve your copy of them if you want to, ensure that you get them, or you can join the projects, like submit your artwork for the calendar or the coffee table book, etc. This form will allow you to say, I want to join or reserve, and then it sort of routes you in the direction that you need to go from there. So some uncranked projects coming up, and you can get involved any way you see fit via this form in our show notes. And third and finally, we've got the Uncranked Summer Splashdown coming in July. So we are not going to be around in July to remind you of this, so we thought we'd better let you know now. If you're a fan and want to be a part of it, there is a form. If you are a developer and you want to be a part of it, you can click on this different form to send in a trailer or a music video. Basically, the Uncranked Summer Splashdown is sort of like their direct. So they're collecting trailers and music videos and whatnot, and you can be a part of it via these forms in the show notes of today's episode. If you want to know more about Uncranked Land, you can subscribe to their Substack. They've got more information on Playdate projects, Crank Collective podcasts, events, presentations, and more. uncrankedpdzine.substack.com. And I think that's going to do it for the... Oh, wait, no. Preemptively booping. Sorry, Don. I thought that was going to do it for the news and notes, but we actually have, do we have a destination update this time?
I didn't have a chance to post links, but he has been releasing a bunch of videos.
Yeah, I thought so. It looks like he's got RollerBlade that released in just the past few days. That's awesome. We'll be hearing about that a little more this episode. Also, Cannonball Kid, as well as Ponger Ground, and looks like Suddenly Bird. Boy, that's a blast to the past. We played that a while back, did we not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, digging in the archives he is. And also Unicycle Madness. I think this was a me pick of the week a while back. So, boy, howdy. 5 updates since last recording. Wowzers. Making up for lost time. Nice work, Sir Destination. And I think that really does do it for the news and notes for this episode, which bringity boop boop boopity boops us into our indie inventory.
Yeah,
Thank you,
let's
Ryan.
see. Yes.
You got it.
First up, we have
Nick, are you with us?
What
What is happening right now?
working out how to pronounce this.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah, and silence can be edited out, Ryan.
There was a long pause. Speaking of which, I wanted to make an impromptu news and note. I have an announcement. There was a recording, I think not last episode when I was gone, but before, and this has happened to me in the past, where I am not cognizant of these like edited silences. And so there are instances in our recording where I sound like a complete psychopath, where I wait like a fraction of a moment before I say something like, well, I guess nobody wants to talk. And it's actually been like 5 minutes that nobody's spoken. But then in the edited silences, oh my God, I was re-listening to an episode and just like, oh, that didn't go well.
Usually I edit them out, but sometimes I miss them.
Anywho, Nick, tell us all about.
Thank you for
the
vamping all
inventory.
that time. I appreciate it.
Figured you needed a moment.
Yeah, first up is Gaddington's Secret Works of Darkness, and this is by Latter Day Pop on itch. It is Name Your Own Price, and this is a tactical deduction game where hidden robber bands are uncovered through logically interpreted scout reports. Ryan, this gives me some Minesweeper type vibes.
Amen, brother. I was thinking the same thing before you said it.
A tactical Minesweeper with lots of cool flavor text. So you're uncovering robber bands instead of mines, and you have to mark them on the grid. So it's sort of like a mixture of Minesweeper with like a nonogram game.
Yeah. I can see that. With
kind of
it seems like they're sort of inserting a narrative element to that type of game too.
Yes. And this says that it is a Book of Mormon inspired setting and presentation. So that is interesting as well.
Book of Mormon?
That's what it says.
The actual book, not the musical.
Right.
Interesting. Okay. I see that now down in the features. All right. I'm with you.
Okay. Yeah, it says Gaddington's Secret Works of Darkness reimagines a classic deduction system through the lens of fight, reconnaissance, and hidden warfare, loosely based around 3 Nephi Chapter 3. This game emphasizes careful observation and logical reasoning, and it's designed specifically for the Playdate. It says it's not an official product of Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So that is Gaddington's Secret Works of Darkness by Latter Day Pop, and it is Name Your Own Price on itch.
Very interesting. Looks like a really thought-provoking puzzle game. I fancy a try. I have downloaded and look forward to playing.
Very good. All right. Next up, we have Master Key Pocket, and this is a demake of Acrome's Master Key Pulpified for the Playdate console. This is blessed by the original creator, but a different developer has made this interpretation for the Playdate, and the original is available on Steam if you would like to check that out as well. This is a adventure type game, it appears, like a Zelda-esque sort of situation, with a large 10 by 10 grid world, 4-ish dungeons, 7 unique enemies, some secrets and Easter eggs, and no language support. So I assume that everything is bathed in iconography instead of text. So Ryan, this game is for you.
Thank you. It looks great too. I don't know if this is pulp or not, but
it
looks
mentions
fantastic.
that it is. Yeah.
Demake of Acrome's Master Key Pulpified for the Playdate console. Does that mean this one was made in pulp, or it's
yes,
demaking the pulpified version?
No, the original is for Steam. So.
Okay. Thank you for reading those words for me. What other words are you going to read for me?
You know what? Several more. But first I have to hit this button. Okay. So that was Master Key Pocket by Mint Ferret, and it is free on itch.
What?
Yeah.
That looked
Give it a shot.
way too good to be free. Unbelievable. Thank you, Mint Ferret.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Listeners, I wish you could hear all the pregnant pauses this episode. It is really something special.
All right, next up we've got Cable Cats by Flowerworks. This is $4.50 on itch, and it is described as safely guiding some cute cats in a gondola to their destination. It features 25 levels and a level editor. It's suitable for all ages, mostly uses the crank. A and B buttons are used infrequently, and the D-pad and buttons are used for menu navigation and the editor. It requires relatively precise use of the crank. So This game also supports Playdate achievements, Don.
I know, love that. The level editor looks pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of Line Rider a little bit,
Mm-hmm. I
but with
was
obstacles in the way.
getting that feeling. I see the sort of windmill situations that are
Hmm.
happening here, or turnstiles. Not sure which they are, but looks really cool. I am very interested in that, especially with those Line Rider sort of vibes. Um, from the description,
Yeah.
it sounds kind of like Line Rider mixed with lemmings, but just a single basket of lemmings. Um, all right, so that was Cable Cats by Flowerworks, and it's $4.50 on itch. All right, next up.
I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt, Nick.
You know,
I just wanted to mention.
You know?
Yeah.
Did you want to tell me something first before I interrupt?
No. I was
like
just
you
going
had
to
Ryan's
suggest.
editing this episode.
Seemed like you
I
had
was-
something to get off your chest.
No, I was just going to suggest waiting a little bit,
Okay.
so we could have a little bit more of a pause there.
Okay. Because we don't have enough pauses in this episode, or
You
any
got
of
it.
ours, evidently.
You know what? It's true. All right, Ryan, what
Okay.
you got?
Well, I'm sure my brief aside is going to be anticlimactic at this point, but I wanted to highlight this level editor because I think this looks really incredible. Like, I watched the video. I don't know if you guys had a moment to watch this demo video, but it not
Mhm.
only shows you a few levels and the different obstacles that you can do, but it shows a little bit of the level editor. And man, this looks really incredible. I don't know if we said the price was $4.50, but man, this looks well worth the price here. So not only is there killer gameplay, but man, you can make all your own stuff too. Uh, how fun! How fun! I just wanted to highlight that level editor portion because I don't know that we highlighted it enough, but now maybe we have.
Well, that'll be the title of this episode. Gondola Cats Level Editor episode. It has kind of an incredible machine look to it, the level editor.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If only I knew what that was.
Oh, it's a Sierra series, Ryan.
Ryan, were you a
What?
teenager in the 90s?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I feel like I'm losing cred here. What? A Sierra game that I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with. The Incredible
Yeah,
Machine. I've
dude.
A
got to look that up
series, Ryan.
now.
A series.
Well, it didn't have Quest at the end of the name, so I didn't
You
know
know what?
about it.
That's true. The Incredible Machine Quest
There we go.
was just too
That
much
would
of
have
a
got me
mouthful.
into it.
Right. But yeah, we'll have to talk after the episode. But for now, Cable Cats. Check it out. Next up, Ryan
Yes,
and
Nick.
Don. But Ryan in
But also
particular.
Ryan.
Let us hear, Nick.
Let's talk about Line Tactics. And this is by Bog and Beak. And it is 5.2 euro on itch, €3 on sale at the moment. Oh, sorry. The 5.2 euro is for an introductory bundle of Bog and Beak's work. So there's 2 games that are included in that bundle. This game, normally €4, on sale for €3. Okay. My pricing gaffe out of the way. Let's move on to what this game is. This is a numeric puzzle game. And it's a competitive strategy game for the Playdate built around a simple but deep core mechanic. Players take turns on a grid of positive and negative numbers, choosing values that both score points and limit their opponent's options. One player moves horizontally, the other vertically, creating an asymmetric tactical duel where every move shapes the next. You can play against an intelligent CPU or in local multiplayer. Each match is about prediction, adaptation, and controlling the board through smart counterplay. So this game sounds even more interesting than the gifs made it appear when I first opened this page.
Agreed.
Because the pass and play nature, I think, I could see myself spending a lot of time playing this with either of you or even somebody not on this podcast right now. And I
I mean,
love a good numeric puzzle game. What do you all think?
I love a
the
good pass and play
non-podcast
game.
options are almost endless. Yeah, yeah, it's cool. I mean, it seems confusing from the gifts, but then I was like, oh well, yeah, I want to score 5 points and then limit my opponent to scoring negative 15 points. Oh, that'd be amazing. And it does seem very simple but straightforward. Like, I do want to give this a shot. It looks really cool.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
I couldn't really think of any other games like this unless I'm missing something.
maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's not a lot of pass and play options on the Playdate. Like I was sitting in the ER with my family the other night and trying to think of one that I could play with my son, and we ended up playing a game where it was level based and like my son would try one, then I would try one, and we kind of go back and forth. But that's not really like a competitive scenario. So I really like the fact that you can do a pass and play competitive game with this. So that does excite me.
You good, Ryan? You can't just say that. You're like, oh, I was in the basement of Fort Knox the other day.
And I was playing the Playdate the whole time.
Everyone's fine. Everyone's fine. We're good. We're
All
good.
right,
I'm here. Yes.
happy to hear that. All night, make it run.
We we were yeah, in need of a game. Maybe I should have left it at that. Everyone's fine. But thank you, Don.
That's good to hear. Um, so this was Line Tactics by Bog and Beak, and it is currently €3 on itch.
I just want to
It's
compliment Nick on his like immediate pronunciation of Boggenbeek. That would have taken me a while. There was no edited pause for the developer name at the beginning of this game description. I just want to make that aware too.
all that time playing tons of Final Fantasy games has finally paid off. All right, next up, are you all aware of the Uncranked Pre-Summer Game Jam?
Oh yeah.
There
Yeah.
are
Oh, I
nine.
stuck this on there because there are so many good-looking games.
Yeah, there are 9 submissions. Um, so Don, have you had a chance to try any of these?
The only one I've tried so far is Carnival, or
Car
I do not have the page open right now. It's
Carnival.
Carniva.
the
Yeah,
Carnival. Yeah, I think it's by Power Dive,
it is.
and it is very WarioWare inspired.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So give that one a go.
Awesome.
Making a dog roll over with the crank is pretty satisfying.
Very cute. Yeah, it looks
uh,
like we've got about, what is this, 7, 8, 9 games or so on
yeah.
here. Lots to try, lots of free games. Very cool game jam. Looks like a good turnout. Um, I don't think we have. Are there winners of this one, or was this the chill jam with no
Still, it's
winners?
still in the voting phase,
Okay, it's still in the voting phase. Thank
but
you,
the
Don.
judges are voting, not the public. But the public can enjoy the submissions.
Cool. Excellent. Well, we'll have a link to that in the show notes of today's episode as well. But I think that
Yeah.
brings us to
There are.
our
Sorry,
catalog.
not yet.
Okay.
Talking.
There are a number of these games that I would love to play just from the splash art that they have on this Game Jam list here. So looking forward to checking them out. And I apologize that I have not yet. Okay. Now we're ready. Ryan?
Catalog games.
Catalog games. All right. First up, we've got Cannonball Kid, and this is made by Alan and Beth Cook, and it is $4 on catalog. Cannonball Kid is a pathfinding puzzle shooting game. The goal of the game is to create a path that lets you destroy the alien spaceships. Use the crank or D-pad to change parts of the screen so that Cannonball Kid can destroy the alien invaders. There are 4 areas to explore and a detailed but condensed tutorial that explains the game's mechanics. 2 possible endings, and if you unlock the good ending, you'll receive one of 3 campaign awards based on how many lives you have when you complete the game. So it sounds like there are variations within those endings as well. Your progress is saved as you move through the game, and you can play through the game as many times as you want. And it sounds like there is quite a lot of replay ability baked in. All of the art and music was created by the development team, and 90% of the code was written by a person with a small amount of AI support on animations. So that is Cannonball Kid. From the GIFs here, it looks like I don't know if you all have played a lot of Dragon Warrior games, Dragon Quest games, where there are the dungeons with the paths that you have to get on, these special blocks that sort of boost you through the dungeon, and you have to make it through a floor in exactly that way. This is sort of giving me those vibes.
I have not played that particular Dragon Quest, but I have played a little gem called Mole Mania, and this had some mild Mole Mania vibes. There's an occasion where you get these cannonballs and you toss them at your enemies, but then you also have the ability to reflect them off of different surfaces, which happens here as well. And by the way, this was also released on itch a little earlier, and I played a version of this. I have not got to play it very much, but I think we were gifted a review code from the developer, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you very much, Alan and Beth Cook. But I've enjoyed the bit of time I was able to spend, but I look forward to spending more. It's a really interesting puzzle game concept.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for the review code. I played through several stages as well. It was a little bit like past problems, which I really enjoyed. I think Dino had mentioned on Discord that it was similar to Choo Rocket. And
Okay.
yeah, past problems and their project I really enjoyed. But it has its own twists, and I love the name Animal Rocket. It's really evocative, like early, like the golden age of arcade games and stuff. Just has like this, I don't know, great flavor to it. It makes me want to check it out. Animal Kid, it just sounds exciting and fun.
It does. Yeah, definitely agree. So that was Cannonball Kid by Alan and Beth Cook. Thank you again for the review codes. And that is $4 on catalog currently. All right, next up, we've got Beam Punk. Anything with punk in the title instantly has my attention. All right, Beam Punk is made by Jesse and David Rusak, and it is currently $8 on catalog. Beam Punk packs a fully fledged action roguelite into tiny 10-minute sessions. Jump from system to system and charge your giant laser cannon to fight off a fleet of invading ships. The better you get at the acrobatic crank-piloted combat, the closer you'll get to reaching Earth and stopping them for good. Each run shuffles the encounters and upgrades again for a new challenge, and over time you'll unlock new gear to change up your playstyle in future attempts. Will lovable rogue Beam Punk manage to save humanity? And then will the Terran Empire chill out a bit about all the alleged smuggling? These are questions that we're left with after reading the summary of Beam Punk.
Come on, Taryn, chill.
And that was made by Jesse and David Rusak and is $8 on catalog.
All right, time to break out your 10-pound metal studded leather jacket, Nick, and play some Beam Punk.
It's true. All
what
right.
you got next?
Next up, we've got Chaos Studies. Ooh, this is in the rhythm game section. Let's see what this is about. It's made by Field Bureau and Workstat, and it's currently $3 on catalog. Strange attractors are shapes that exist only in motion. Deterministic yet unpredictable, they never repeat and never escape. 3 differential equations and a curiosity about what chaos actually looks like. The Playdate is where it found its proper form. Turn the crank and a chaotic system rotates in your hand. An original dynamic soundtrack moves with it, composed on a Teenage Engineering OPXY. And fittingly, that was the studio that designed the Playdate and the synth inside the Playdate. The mathematics.
What is an OPXY?
It's a small synthesizer that Teenage Engineering makes, separate from the Playdate.
Huh. Okay.
The mathematics becomes something that you can hold in your hands. 9 systems are included, each set of equations producing a different geometry. Some feel calm, others feel restless. No score, no puzzle, no goal, just a chaotic system, a crank, and whatever you bring to it.
Are you seeing the animated GIFs on here? There's like one animated image that is really captivating. It's like this, I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like it's creating this three-dimensional pathway in space with these contrails, and I don't know, it just looks so mesmerizing. I don't know what I'm doing or how to do it, but boy, does it look interesting.
It is, I think mesmerizing is the right word. And as far as how to do it, you turn the crank. That is, that is it. That's the control. Um, so there's no goal, and it's not like you're doing this for any purpose other than to make something cool looking that is ephemeral. And you can see in one of the animated GIFs that the entire system collapses at one point.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you press a button and it disappears or what exactly happens. But you're seeing the result of a mathematical equation as you turn the crank. I think that is a really special and cool use of mathematics um, that is accessible to a large audience of people. So the expression of math in a visual medium, that is something that is directly under the player's control. I just think that is a really cool thing. Um,
So interesting. Worth the $3 just to try it out and see what
that's
it's all about.
exactly what I was going to say. Yep.
Great minds, my friend.
uh, Chaos Studies, and that is by Field Bureau and Workstat, and it's $3 on catalog.
Well, not to be outdone by Chaos Studies, we have, oh boy, what does this font say? La Dera Abaisho is coming in at $2. Nick, maybe you should continue reading these since I
It's
cannot, evidently.
This is made by Mama and Fiaca, and it is $2 on catalog. You want to go fast on your skateboard, not slow, and compete in Sao Paulo's newest downhill competition in Ladera Abaixo, down the hill is what that translates to go as far as you can. Turn your Playdate 90 degrees and use the crank to steer your skateboard around all sorts of obstacles that can slow you down or end your run. You want to avoid things like popcorn carts, delivery bikes, Vivo's cars. Hitting them ends your run immediately, and that doesn't count kissing the pavement. You want to beware oil spills and soccer balls. Not everything in your path is an obstacle. You can use certain things to get a boost and go further. Pastels gain temporary invincibility, and manhole covers allow you to jump. The further you go, the faster you get. Make good use of your helmet when you inevitably crash. um,
Ooh, I'm excited for this next section.
this next section is about online leaderboards.
Leaderboards.
This is Ryan's raison d'etre. And you want to go as far downhill as possible, and this was made with the Noble engine. So, did either of you play the Skate or Die games?
Yes.
There was a downhill jam section in, I believe, the first one, and this reminds me a bit of that, mixed with a variety of other games where you have sort of downhill racing elements. This is quite a bit faster than Skate or Die, but there are fun obstacles, cool artwork. I definitely dig the cartoony vibe that they've got going here. And what do you all think?
Don, you want to chime in on this one?
Yeah, I love a skateboarding game.
I,
Yeah.
I knew you did.
I need to get this one loaded on to Playdate and give it a go. La Daira Abaishu? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks super cute, super fun. Man, again, $2? Question mark? I mean, that
Yeah,
sounds like an easy get.
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. Nice work, Mama and Fiasha.
Yes. And I apologize for my terrible pronunciation.
Me too.
All right. We've got one more.
Let's hear it. Oh my gosh, these prices, they just keep getting lower and lower.
Next up is Crankwords, which is a daily word game.
For
You want to
$1.
For $1. It's made by Tom White. You want to find all the words within the letters in 5 minutes and compare your score to your friends with Ryan,
Nick?
online scoreboards. That's right.
Very
Uh,
nice.
this has some beautiful iconography. I'd like to talk to you, Ryan, specifically about that. How do you feel
Hmm.
about the visuals that are represented in these GIFs and the graphing and
What
all this?
what is this? It's not an octagon, it's not a decagon. Is this a nonagon? What is this? Or do you have 9 letters to choose from? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were correct. It's a nonagon.
interesting.
Nine.
Very cool. So this is a word game. Guess who loves word games? My wife. She enjoys a word game. So maybe this is the $1 answer to get her interested in the Playdate. That would be
That would be
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, love to see her name up on those
Yeah.
leaderboards.
Maybe
I
she can
don't
help me
see
get the Hello Playdate podcast name on some word game leaderboards.
I don't see a leaderboard here. It says online scoreboards, but I don't see them on the page.
Is
Hmm.
wasn't there some sort of function where like some games in the past have led you to a URL where these are posted, not
Yeah,
necessarily the catalog page? Maybe it's something like that.
a QR code or something, but I don't.
Yeah.
They didn't link it on their site if there is one.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
It does show in that graph. If I'm interpreting this correctly,
Yeah.
the graph is your score on that singular puzzle versus
Hmm.
the rest of the world, and they're
I
pretty
guess
close
that's
to the middle of the pack there. And somebody has very much bested them.
so. That's the way to compare
In
your
this image.
score online.
I think so.
What's very interesting to me is that there's this standard looking bell curve on that graph, but then there's this wild spike at very close to the edge of the bell. I wonder what's going on there. Maybe there's a lot of smart people who are not you, evidently.
Well, I think it's score over time. So the puzzle itself is timed 5 minutes. So the longer you
Mm.
use, maybe the higher the graph goes,
Hmm.
and then the further to the right is your score
Hmm.
in comparison with time.
Hmm.
I could be totally mistaken. Um,
$1 to find out.
yeah, the y-axis is not labeled, so it's just an assumption.
I was going to leave that actually alone, but thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome. Um, all right. So that is Crankwords, $1, made by Tom White on catalog. Check it out. Okay.
Batical. Good job, Nick. We will have a link to that and all the Playdate games released this fortnight. But guess what else we have? Ooh, we have on sale games. Are you ready for all this? We've got, there's a bunch of them. I better go quick. We've got Catch Up On. We've got Four Corners. We've got Cheese and Crackers. What's in the Sky? Unshuffle. Backbeat. The Whiteout. Save Your Chicks. Fortress. Garbage. Scow. Captain. Ouroboros, Shift 2, Steamed, Roller, Lilybug. Man, we've got like 50% Scenic Route software games on here. You're going to miss the bus. Four Corners, Greed, Shift, Generations, Post Hero, Swap Machina. All of those are considerable amounts off. It looks like primarily 50% off for these. There's like 140%, 133%, but by and large, 50% off. A bunch of amazing games, many of them coming from Scenic Route, but also lots of other fantastic devs. Tom Trevort, Chris Campbell, Alan and Beth Cook, a bunch of folks. So get on that sale page, see what you might want, and get some cheap games. Any of those calling out to you guys?
So the Scenic Route software catalog, of course, excellent. I own all of those games though, so the things I am looking at are things like Swap Machina. Would like to check that out.
I don't have a look at the list at the moment, but it sounded like a lot of good games.
Definitely.
Very good, very good. Then it's time for me to boopity boop 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 us into our pick of the week. We might be calling this our pick of the summer, right? So this was a Dawn pick. Dawn, do you want to take this away?
Yeah, sure. This is Rollerblade by Quack. And I should mention we were provided review copies, though I was looking forward to this one before we were provided review copies. This is similar to Tiny Wings if you were given a gun and a sword. And this one really emerged as being very, very smooth in all aspects on the Playdate. Presentation very smooth. You got intro and outro cards, kind of, which is, I think the outro card is the first time I've seen that on the Playdate. You're going up and down hills. If you're not familiar with Tiny Wings, you're a little ball going up and down hills, and there's little turrets shooting at you. There's mines. You're
Little
trying
what
to
now?
turrets.
Okay. Just make sure we clarified that. Sounded like something
Uh,
different to me.
oh, turrets, little tanks that shoot bullets at you, and you
There we
can
go.
use your sword to deflect the bullets. You can fly up into the clouds, use your sword to cut through the clouds and bounce through the air. It's got a really good sense of momentum. You have a boost, and you can use your gun to propel yourself as well. And yeah, you get your speed going. We were speaking to Quack a little bit. He said that he was more recently inspired by XO1, which is a really fun next gen game in a 3D perspective, but this is a 2D perspective where you're traveling left to right, going up and down hills. There's some like skiing games that are somewhat similar. So think of yourself as skiing up and down hills as a round ball with a gun. But anyway, what did you guys think about exploring Rollerblade? Should we go to Nick?
Let's do it.
Yeah. This game has a deceptively simple series of controls. Um, there are essentially three different things that you can do. You can boost, you can shoot your gun, or you can swing that crank around to use your sword. And
There are other things.
there are other things which apparently I haven't seen.
Uh-huh.
And the way that those interface with the player is really interesting.
Mhm.
This is a game that is about momentum and maintaining momentum and never stopping unless you're Nick, and then you stop all the time. I do like to observe, a good background, and so I found myself just stopping and really smelling the roses. But
This is a very funny game to do that on.
it is.
But I will say that you're not alone. It does take a fair amount of getting used to, but I'm sorry to interrupt. Go on, Nick.
I, I didn't say anything about getting used to it, Ryan. I just said that I was enjoying smelling the roses.
Very good.
It does take a little bit of time to get used to. That is obviously not a bad thing. That's just working out the way that you need to interact with the controls in order to best accomplish the goal. And the goal is simple: just get as far as possible. Um, and I found this game to be quite challenging. And not in a bad way, in the way where you finish a run and you immediately start another one. So the thing that it took me a while to come around to the way that boosts, for example, can interact and be quite helpful. Um, I was I initially started out pretty cautious about using boosts because they take away health. Shooting the gun takes away health. Running into enemies takes away health, and essentially existing without movement or even with movement takes away health. So everything is sort of taking away this limited resource that you have, this one resource, which fuels everything. And so in my nature, I was trying to conserve that resource as much as possible. Different things can refill it depending on the mode in which you find yourself, or maybe always. But coins and then clouds. You can spin at clouds, and there is. I'm not quite certain what triggers the health refill off the clouds, because it seemed like I would crank through a cloud and I wouldn't get a health boost, and then sometimes I would. I'm certain that I'm missing something there. As far as maybe I didn't go all the way through a cloud. Perhaps you have to slice the entire thing up before it gives you a boost, or maybe I was getting a health boost, but it wasn't as significant as I expected. Something like that. And I'm sure Ryan will clarify shortly. But coins also give you a boost. And so I found myself kind of alternating between boosting and using the gun basically to kick myself off if I managed to get stopped somewhere. And otherwise, just trying to be in the air as much as possible, cranking along and avoiding rough landings, because there is fall damage in this game. If you are way up high and you smack into the ground, you're going to feel it. A couple of things I wanted to call out. One is the synthesized music and effects are awesome. Really excellent sound package in this game. And the other thing is the graphical effects. The way that everything is put together and rendered, so super smooth. No matter how fast I went, and no matter what was going on the screen, as far as enemies were concerned, or projectiles, I never really had an issue with slowdown or anything like it. Now, I didn't try this in mirror mode. I'm not certain if it performs quite as well there, but what it performs at on the Playdate, was amazing to me. And the entire game is 2 megabytes. So it's been quite some time, I think, since we've played a game using synthesizer and the rendering primitives and those sorts of things to keep the size down as much as possible. That's something I super appreciate, just from a gameplay perspective, but also a development perspective. It's really cool. So excellent work, Quack. All right, Ryan, what you got?
Yes, everything that Don and Nick said. But also, I super enjoyed this game. It did take me a little bit to get used to it and get into it, but man, is this a polished experience. Nick highlighted the sound package. I'd like to highlight Nick mentioned the graphical elements, which, by the way, Quack said were all code produced. There's no sprites in this game. So maybe that's something that's helping it run with peak efficiency. But another thing that I wanted to mention is that the visuals, yes, while they are somewhat simple, a ball rolling on some cliffs and shooting up into the air, there's this really interesting game framing where when you are close to the ground, it zooms in, and when you boost up into the air, it zooms out. And that happens dynamically and without you doing anything. And that felt so natural. Like, I never wished, oh, I wish I could zoom out right now, or oh, I wish I could zoom back in right now. It did what you want it to without you even knowing it. And like Nick said, in such a seamless fashion, like this whole very speedy game, which can occasionally have a lot of stuff going on the screen at one time, just ran like butter. It was so incredibly polished. So I want to first and foremost highlight that about the game. Amazing job, Quack. One thing, there were a number of things that I did not quite understand upon first playing the game that took me a little bit to understand, like the fact that you have a power meter, which, ammo and health and all that are all one unit, like your amount of bullets left or the amount of health you have left. Cool mechanic, but I did not understand how much I had left until finally I heard through the grapevine, oh, the color of your circle indicates your health or your ammo or what have you. So I overlooked that. I don't know if any of you guys did, but I was kept looking around for like a more traditional health bar, and I did not see it. So um, that sort of brings me to one of my thoughts about the game is that I think there's multiple different ways that people intake information. And one set of folks is throw me into the mix and I'm going to try a bunch of stuff and I'll learn that way. And I think other folks prefer to have some explanation and hand holding. And I think I would probably classify myself as the latter a little more toward that end of the spectrum. And I found myself sort of wishing for an instruction manual of sorts. Now, to Quack's credit, there are lots of game hints. Every time you finish a game, it gives you a new game hint. So that's sort of a way that you can have an instruction manual sort of drip fed to you throughout playing this game. So that's interesting. I think I'm more of the NES generation where there's an instruction manual and I want to read through it and kind of understand what I'm doing a little bit before I get in there. So I kind of wish there was that option as well, because I also found some of those tips after ending the game seemed to deal with modes of the game that I was not playing, which also brings me to the fact that there are modes in this game, which we haven't really talked about. So there is a traditional mode, there's a bounce mode, there's a daily challenge, there's shoot, slash, wild, etc. There's all kinds of different modes that you can use to play different types of this same game, which I thought was really uh like a quality of life thing that allowed this game to have a lot longer legs than it might otherwise. So I thought that was a really fantastic thing to include too, and obviously a ton more work for Quack to basically include like 5 or 6 different modes or games in this one game that you purchase. So again, I'm not sure if we've mentioned this. The game is currently $8 on catalog, but basically you're getting like a number of different ways to play this game for that price. So I found myself playing this a lot over the past couple weeks, and this once again felt like another really solid Dawn pick of the week for me because I don't know, Dawn, I find myself really getting very invested in the games that you pick, and this was no different. So there's, 85 minutes of my thoughts. I should probably turn this over to someone else before I overstay my welcome. But did that trigger any thoughts for you guys?
Yeah, for sure. I noticed that you were on the leaderboards for almost every mode, and I had a hard time unlocking modes. And I'm guessing Nick's in the same boat because I played it. I felt like I played it quite a bit, but didn't get very many modes unlocked. I did place in the top 10 on Crankless, but it doesn't look like Crankless mode is listed uh, in the leaderboards here. Um, I'm not really sure. I thought it said, well, I thought one of the tips was getting to day 2 would unlock a mode, but didn't seem to unlock a mode for me.
Hmm.
Did that
Um,
unlock a mode for you?
so I encountered the same thing, and I actually ended up messaging Quack and saying, "Hey, I'm seeing all these different scoreboards online, but I'm not getting the modes opened up for me. What do I do?" So at the time, I thought I played enough, but evidently I did not. And so maybe you just need to play a little more because I'm not
Oh, okay.
entirely certain what opens the additional modes. I think there are some uh achievements, like you said you get to day 2 and you open up a mode, or I think there's a bounce option, and if you, I don't know, maybe bounce on blimps a particular number of times, it opens that up or something. I'm not entirely sure. I should probably check with Quack before stating this publicly. So long story short, I felt the same way as you, contacted Quack and just ended up playing a bunch more, I guess, and they ended up opening up for me. Yeah.
I would have liked a little bit of clarity there because it's fun to discover that stuff and kind of grind it. I think what was that game uh, that you didn't much get into? Uh, it was like X something where you push left, right, X. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was kind of like
Was it
a hot
extras?
game. Yeah, extras. So extras, you could unlock different stuff in the menus by doing certain things, and it kind of telegraphed what you need to do and explore. And I was kind of waiting for that, and I felt like this had those hidden things. Like getting to crankless mode was pretty clever, and so I was expecting to kind of discover things like that, and then it didn't. I haven't. Nick, did you unlock more modes?
I only unlocked Crankless. That's the only other one. I too played quite a lot of normal, but apparently was not doing the right things to unlock other modes or not getting far enough. I also made it to day 2 in normal mode. I was right on the edge in Crankless. Couldn't quite do that either. Um, but uh, but yeah, that I'm not sure if that was supposed to open anything. It did unlock an achievement for me. Um,
Yeah.
and that worked, as expected. So I suspect that all three of us are wrong about something,
Yeah.
which
The
would not be
achievements are
the first
fun.
time.
Yeah. The achievements are really fun. They're satisfying. I like seeing them pop up.
Oh
And
yeah,
I made it, I think, maybe further in Crankless than I did in crank mode.
that
Um,
was definitely the case for me at first. Eventually, I started kind of clicking more with the controls in normal mode. But Crankless, I also was a little confused by how you were supposed to move. So I didn't have the frame of reference of tiny wings. Is it wings
yeah,
plural?
Tiny Wings. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've not played that game. I did ask Quack for a little bit of clarity, and he provided. He found a different web-based game that was similar, which I haven't checked out yet. But um, I was not certain exactly what I was supposed to do as far as controls go in the crankless mode.
Yeah,
Obviously, you don't use the crank, but other than that,
did either of you guys get to an understanding of crankless mode? Because I did not. I tried it once and it very much confused me, and I just pulled the crank out again.
Yeah. Yeah. Crankless mode, you want to push a button to go down, like it makes you force yourself down. So you'll force yourself down into a valley and let go of the button to pop out.
okay,
Hmm.
So you'll slam down into a valley and then you'll let go, so you'll pop out and you'll get a lot of distance that way.
that makes a ton of sense. Don't
Yeah.
know why that didn't occur.
Same.
Um, yeah,
If you're holding the button, you'll just stay down in the valley very slowly. But letting go it's kind of like Tony Hawk or something, like you'll ollie out of it.
okay,
Hmm.
yeah. I interpreted the holding the button down because I would press it as I was going up an incline, and I'm like, well, this
No,
seems to be getting me traction, but I don't know what it's doing.
no, you don't
Uh,
want traction. You want the opposite.
Understood now. Thank you, Don.
Yeah, 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 no
should
problem.
should have asked you.
I mean, that feels very much like a Tiny Wings mode,
Okay.
which is fun. Uh, what was I gonna say, Ryan? Oh, something Ryan hit on was that it doesn't give you really any direction when you start. And I feel like that's very uh, deliberate, which I kind of like. Like, I don't think every game
Hmm.
has to hold your hand.
Yeah.
As much as I like the tutorial, I hate Nintendo games where the tutorial is so drawn out. Like, oh, use the stick to walk left, use the stick to walk right. Okay, now push A to jump. It's like, yeah, yeah, I played a video game before. I kind of like that every once in a while. It's not good for every game, but I like every once in a while where there's a game that's like figure it out. And then on the other hand, I know I was complaining about like I can't figure out how to get these other modes. Like I get if I'm complaining about this, but I do like that it doesn't really tell you much. You got to kind of discover things. like discovering the sword it doesn't tell you. You just gotta you find the sword and how it interacts with the clouds and stuff, which is pretty fun. And I'm guessing I can see in the gifts you discover more stuff as you go. So I like that. It gives you a reason to keep going. And everything here is so smooth and well done and polished that it is constantly rewarding you for playing. And I never got to where like, okay, I'm bored. I don't want to keep playing.
Yeah.
It was constantly rewarding. I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to do more. I want to do more. This wasn't
Right.
one where I played for a half hour and was like, all right, I get it. I'm done with this. We'll talk about it. Every day I was like, yeah, I want to play a little.
Yeah, same. And speaking of those GIFs on the catalog page, I would encourage people to get on there and take a look at them because they are like master classes of how to play this game. The person playing, I'm assuming it would be Quack, is so proficient at these controls. But when you first get into this game, do not expect to have runs like that. I found myself running into a lot of hills and killing my momentum and still have that happen to me. But once in a while, I can get these runs where the flow is there, the I'm hitting the hills just as I'm supposed to, and man, it feels so good when you start hitting those hills just over and over, or even like bouncing off blimps or what have you. There's a lot of fun to be had on this game. I do have sort of a minutia question for you guys, though. I'm guessing that you got to the point where you either hit your last scores marker or you break your previous uh, high score on that run. And there's like a
Mhm.
little vertical line
Yep.
and you pass it. But it's like almost a physical barrier. You sort of run into it, it gets a little elastic, and then finally it pops and then it lets you go. What did you guys think about that?
I really like the effect. It uh, did. I had a hard time maintaining momentum, and so it took me a while to come to terms with the fact that that was going to slow me down.
Yes.
Um, but once I went through it a couple of times, I was like, okay, this is coming up. I know I'm doing well in this run, so I'm going to be hitting that and basically stop. So I need to figure out a way to get back up to speed quickly.
Yeah, and it's not exactly stopped. It's sort of an elastic stop and then a
For some of
burst
us.
out. And for me, it was uh, it felt like a big change in momentum, which in a momentum game felt contrary to what you want to do, which is keep going and going and going and understanding the momentum that you're at. And when I hit this previous or best physical marker, it was like, oh, it's sort of holding up my flow, or making it or turning it into something different that I did not expect. And so while I really appreciate the visual and physical nature of it, like when you pop through, it sort of like gives you this confetti effect and fireworks like, oh, hey, great job. You're doing better than you did last time or better than you've ever done, which again, visually awesome. From a physical momentum physics standpoint, man, it really threw me for a loop whenever I'd hit those things.
Yeah, I agree. As much as I love the snap, I don't like that it slows you down, or that maybe it doesn't actually slow you down. Maybe it just feels like it does because I don't know what the game balancing is like, but it definitely feels like it slows you down. I don't like that. I want to just keep. I want to do the opposite. Feel like it boosts you or something. I don't think I tried cranking through it. Maybe if you crank,
I think that I did, and I didn't notice a discernible difference.
okay.
Um,
And
but
I have not tried, so I cannot comment.
I could be very wrong. Um,
Yeah, maybe
yeah,
if you have your sword out, you can cut through it, but then that wouldn't be like it is satisfying to snap through it. But
and
yeah, I don't
once
like the stopping. It's like, no, I'm
once you
going so
do,
fast, I want to
yeah,
blow
Hmm.
through it.
Yeah.
once you do snap, you do get a little boost.
Yeah.
Um, but in my case, Um, I rolled past some roses and then I stopped and got to keep smelling them.
Well,
So that was pretty
speaking
cool.
of smelling roses, we're probably getting a little long in the tooth this episode, which I think speaks to the excitement that we have for this game.
Hmm.
But
Well, I
I
got.
want, I'm
I
sorry,
got.
Don.
I'm still on this topic. I'm still on this topic real quick.
Okay.
Did you guys ever play Burrito Bison?
No.
I know
Nope.
Ryan hasn't. Okay. Uh, one. That's one of my favorite games ever, and it's sort of like Burrito Bison. You can get to where you're. It's similar gameplay to this. When you're slowing down, and you'll. It's sort of like that feeling when you're hitting this rubber band thing here, this barrier, but you might hit a gummy bear that really makes you explode. And I feel like it could be a similar kind of thing, just like make the explosion bigger and really propel you. Maybe it would be more satisfying, like, okay, I'm going to hit this barrier, but it's really going to propel me and I'll really feel a difference and it'll make the whole thing worth it. Like Burrito Bison, yeah, you're slowing down quite a bit, but you get such a boost. It's like, oh, nice. Okay, I'm back in the game again. Okay, anyway, sorry,
Yeah,
Ryan.
it's an interesting thought. Agreed. But I was going to try to transition us into an outro by letting you all know that I contacted Quack as we were talking and asked him about opening up those additional modes. And I thought I'd read what he had to say. Quack says, playing a lot of games is not strictly a requirement for that, but yes, most unlocking conditions need the player to have played enough to be able to meet them. So it sounds like, yes, you got to play some more. And then he goes on to say, well, except that daily mode is unlocked after playing the game for 4 days, and custom mode is unlocked after having played 3 different daily runs. The easiest ones remain crankless, very immediate, and shoot, which only requires to have killed 100 of any enemies. So start blasting those enemies, guys, and sounds like you should open up another one.
I liked rolling over the enemies, but I wish that was a little more satisfying too. Like I feel like you're rolling over them so frequently. I wish that gave you like a little bounce and a little boost. Instead, it kind of slows you down. But odds are you're going to be rolling over them anyway. I wish that was a little
If
more
you roll
satisfying.
over them, doesn't that damage you?
Yes, it
Yeah, I
does.
think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of times you're going to end up rolling into them unless you're really fast on your gun.
I'm
Or maybe I just suck. I don't
well, my own brand of suckage is that I'm basically stopped all the time, so I just have a lot of time to aim.
know. Okay.
That is an advantage of smelling the roses. You can aim
It
better.
it's true. It's true.
All right, guys. Well, thumbs up, thumbs down. How you feeling about Quack's rollerblade?
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed it. I could. It'd be hard pressed to get this out of the top 10 at the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure. Nick,
Very fun game.
you enjoying those
Check it out.
roses?
Yeah, knock Ryan off the leaderboards. That's really the goal. No, I'm kidding. I did make it to number 12, I think, on Crankless. I felt very proud.
Ooh, all
Yeah.
right. Excellent. Very good. Well, that sounds like a 3 thumbs up from the Hello Playdate podcast for Rollerblade. Quack, thank you so much for the review copies. I think all of us got them. I purchased the game so quickly because I was so excited about it that I didn't get a chance to use my review copy. So I'm playing on a paid version in case that makes any difference for how I'm reacting to this. I don't think it will, but I know sometimes folks like to know. But that brings us to the end of our episode, which means I should probably mention that you've been listening to the Hello Playdate podcast, which is available on playdatepodcast.com or any podcatching platform of your choice. You can find us on Blue Sky. That's at helloplaydate.bluesky.social. YouTube's at Hello Playdate Podcast. Email, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, is helloplaydatepodcast@gmail.com. You can even call us on the Bingo's tip line to keep us company during this dark summer of no Hello Playdate podcasting. That's 724 Bingo's 1. That's 724-246-4671. Once again, we are going to be dark for the summer of 2026. We're recording our last episode here at the end of May, and we should see you again in September. So have a lovely summer, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to us for 4 years. We'll be back in a few months and can't wait to chat with you then. Until then, good luck making your own awkward outros.
Have a good summer, everyone.
Bye.